Hello, third graders. Today in this video, we're going to be talking about fractions. They are parts of a whole. Fractions are a part of a whole. This is probably the most important thing that you have to understand about fractions. Now, to better help you understand that fractions are numbers that represent parts of a whole, I'm going to bring in something that everybody is familiar with: chocolate. So this might get kind of messy. But this is a chocolate bar, a piece of chocolate. Now, I have one whole chocolate bar. This is my whole right here. One whole chocolate bar. I'm going to draw or trace around this chocolate bar so that I can move my chocolate bar eventually. But here is my chocolate bar. It is one whole chocolate bar. No pieces are missing. There is nothing missing from my chocolate bar. Now, I need a number that can represent my one whole chocolate bar. Well, guess what that number is? How many chocolate bars do I have? One. But what if something happened to this chocolate bar? Let's say that Mr. Manley is getting kind of hungry. Yep. I can gonna. Oh. Mm, mm. Well, no. Mm. I no longer have a whole chocolate bar, do I? So let me kind of trace out the part of the chocolate bar that I still have. Okay, I'm going to remove this now. Actually, I'm going to do the whole chocolate bar, but that's the part that was missing. And let me draw the other parts. You can actually see what I have left. I ate this part right here. Now these are the parts that I have left. You see those little creases? Maybe you can see them. Let me give it a little more light. Okay, so I'm going to draw these little creases. Okay. So now, what do I have? Or how much of the chocolate bar do I have? It's no longer one whole chocolate bar. Well, I need a number to represent this. If I don't have a number to represent this, how can I add more of chocolate bars to my total amount of chocolate bars? I need a number. Well, I can see that this chocolate bar had four equal parts. It had four equal parts. In the beginning, I should have flipped it around, and you would have seen that this one whole chocolate bar was had four equal parts. Mr. Manley ate one of those parts. So I'm going to shade this in, indicating that I had, past tense, had four equal parts. And since I had those four equal parts, I had one whole chocolate bar. But now, since I was hungry, I ate a part. I just ate a part of that chocolate bar. Now, how many parts of the chocolate bar do I have? How many parts of the whole chocolate bar do I have? Well, I can represent this with the number. Let me count the parts that I actually have. 1, 2, 3. I have 3 parts out of how many parts did I have total to begin with? Well, I had 4 total parts. Right up here, you can see them when I had my whole chocolate bar. Now let me color code or shade in these parts that I actually have. So, now you see why we have fractions. I needed some kind of number that represented my chocolate bar right here and right here. Not a whole chocolate bar, but part of my whole chocolate bar. So this is a fraction. This represents part of something or part of a whole. Now, people have actually named these top and bottom numbers of a fraction. The top number that represents the parts that you are considering in a fraction, this is called the numerator. Numerator. And the bottom part is actually called a denominator. Denominator. You guys should try to say that with me. Numerator, denominator. And if you ever get confused about which is which in a fraction, look at the D in denominator. What word can mean that? What word starts with a D that kind of represents this denominator? Where the location of the denominator? Is it, yes, it's down. Down. I'm going to put down right here. Down. Okay? And for numerator, you can always remember the top number is the numerator because of, do you remember on a map, what is always up, pointing up on a map or a compass rose? Yes, that's right. North. So numerator north, denominator down. You could use that to help you. So, let's review really quick. Fractions are a part of a whole. That's what this number, this fraction is. That's what it represents. It's a part of something. A part of a whole chocolate bar. Okay? If we wanted to write this one whole in a fraction form, we could actually write it like this. One whole. Well, guess how many parts we have? Remember, the numerator represents how many total parts we have or how many total parts we're considering. So right here we had 4 of the 4 total parts. So you see that this fraction right here, well, it's a whole now. It's no longer just a fraction, it's a whole. 4/4 is a whole of something, one whole something. In this case, one whole candy bar. Down here, remember, Mr. Manley got hungry, had to eat a part of that, had to eat a part of the chocolate bar. And now we have a fraction, a part of this whole chocolate bar.